Welcome in, everybody. It's the coach. This is Madden 20 on EA Sports. Straight ahead, we'll see the free agent signee, Nick Foles, and the Jacksonville Jaguars as they match up with the second-year man, Lamar Jackson, and the Baltimore Ravens. With that, let's get up to M&T Bank.
Coach, thanks. EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the Inner Harbor at M&T Bank Stadium here in Baltimore, Maryland. Today, we're set for a good AFC matchup between the Jacksonville Jaguars and the Baltimore Ravens. This is taken at the 3. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. So 1st and 10 now from the 30.
Here we go. Take 4, take 4.
They go to the former Saint, Mark Ingram. He works his way forward for a couple up past the 30.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. What that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
All day, every day, any day.
And nearly an interception here on their opening drive. But instead, 3rd down. And time to take a look at the Jaguar defense.
Let's get a little bit bigger light shined right here because we're talking about two guys. Cornerbacks Jalen Ramsey and A.J. Boye. Maybe the best tandem in the NFL. Both physically able to dominate receivers. They're textbook examples of shutdown corners. Collectively, they allowed only 2 touchdowns the entire 2018 season.
An early tough test on the opening drive. This is 3rd and 8. They'll fake the give to Ingram. Now Jackson. He's going to air one out. This is caught inside the 15. And this will get them all the way inside of Jacksonville's 10. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Excellent execution, and now they're set up nicely.
Are they ever? Red zone? I wonder what the next play call is going to be because after a big play like that, a lot of teams like to use the momentum to launch another one.
From the gun, it's Jackson. And his throw's going to be incomplete. He was looking for Nick Boyle that time. But it'll be 2nd and goal.
You got to be precise with your throws, especially in this situation. You're inside the 10-yard line going into the end zone. But sometimes the emotion, the excitement, sometimes the decisions just aren't made very well because of that.
Another shot from the 9 on 2nd and goal. Now a handoff to Ingram. And from the 9, they get this to the 5-yard line.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
From the 5-yard line, will this opening drive yield 6? This is 3rd and goal. From the gun, Jackson. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
They went with the dime look that time on defense, just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
So on 4th down, here's the Ravens Pro Bowl kicker Justin Tucker out onto the field. From the left hash, should be a fairly easy one here. And Tucker's kick right there, it's good. And the Ravens strike first, it 3's in. Tucker named the league's all-pro kicker for the 3rd time in 2018.
Go ahead and admit it. The only time that you get excited about Justin Tucker kicking is when he actually misses.
It's
and excited
rare.
is not the right word. Surprise is more what we're talking about. 90.1% coming into 2019. He's incredible.
Tucker now following the made field goal, set to kick it away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. There's Nick Foles ready to bring out this Jacksonville offense. Nick was the MVP of Super Bowl 52, of course. signed the big money deal to take over as a starting quarterback following the 5-year run of Blake Bortles, who wound up in L.A. It'll be a 5-yard pickup there, and it will take us to the 2-minute warning. 3-0 after 1 on EA Sports. Ready for the second quarter, and it's our visitors with the football as they are looking at a 2nd and 5 situation. Now this one over the middle into the hands of his tight end, complete. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
Many different ways to create space, but on that play, he did it with that big, wide body of his. Didn't get a whole lot of yardage on the play, but it did what it was supposed to. Pick up a first down.
First down now, but the clock continues to move. Here's Foles. He'll get this over to Westbrook. It's complete. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. 16 yards that time on the pickup for the Jags and a first down.
Of course, the catch was nice, but how about what happened after? Able to stay on his feet and gain all that additional yardage. So many of these slot guys, I think, have running back in their background.
First down now, but that clock rolling. Foles. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. A good gain again. That's now 31 yards combined on those last 2 plays.
When this offense can get their tight ends involved, they can move the football. Here, a nice route, able to look it in, and picks up the first down.
Could we get a touchdown in this first half after all? It's 1st and 10. Now Foles. This throw over the middle taken in by Cole. The Jaguars going to go ahead and use their first timeout as the clock will stop with 55 seconds to go until halftime. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. And that's incomplete. Looked like he had a couple of different options as far as who to throw to on that play. Who am I to say this, but I'm not sure he made the right decision.
Well, the window of opportunity is always going to be small in the NFL. That's why those quarterbacks who make quick decisions and have quick releases have the most success in this league.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. 2nd and 10. That is incomplete.
Feels like they're getting caught in between here because they didn't incompletions on 1st and 2nd down. Now you got to worry a little bit about the clock because you prefer not to give them another shot here in the first half. But if you don't pick up the first down, guess what? You're likely going to have to.
This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. They'll drop the throw. This will be caught just inside the 10. And he takes it in. Touchdown, Jacksonville. A 15-yard touchdown grab. And the Jaguars have taken the lead.
And while that touchdown does not give them an insurmountable lead, it's still a lead, and that always feels good to a team.
They'd love to take that into the lockers, but a little time left on that clock, so some work to do.
I like that. I like how you're guarding against a letdown there.
Already looking forward.
Coaching them up from right up here in the booth.
Point after by Lambeau, up and good. And that makes it a 7-3 lead. And Lambeau now, after the touchdown, he'll kick this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Now the Baltimore offense heading back out onto the field. And you have to figure they won't just sit on the football here in the final minute. The way things have gone, they need to try to make something happen offensively.
But maybe they should. Maybe they should sit on it here because of what you just said. They haven't made anything happen offensively. Getting ready to go into the half, give them a chance to take a deep breath, exhale a little bit, and start over. I don't know if this is the time to push it myself.
Yeah, right now under 100 yards of total offense. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Jackson from the shotgun. And this will be incomplete. Just a little beyond the reach there of his receiver. That's probably one he wishes he had back.
He wishes it had been 7-on-7 in practice, or maybe even routes versus air, because that's a completion he makes, 9.9 times out of 10? Just missed that one.
From the 34, they'll come to the line on 2nd and 10. Jackson now. Throwing again. Caught by Snead over the middle. The Ravens going to use the second of their timeouts as the clock will stop with just under 30 seconds to go in the first half. Now they'll try to convert on 3rd and 6 after the 4-yard completion. So the false start will back them up 5.
False start, offense.
Ooh, moving from his tight end spot there.
Do you think that perhaps the play call was for him?
Still 3rd down.
So the false start certainly doesn't help matters as they'll try again now, 3rd and long. Play action. It's Jackson. Jaguar pressure and a Jaguar sack. Now the Jags will use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 24 seconds to go in this first half. So on 4th down, here's Sam Cook to punt it away. Back deep for the Jags, D.D. Westbrook. That'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt. And control of the football switching hands with very little time remaining until the half. Final 17 seconds of the half here as they come up to the line, 1st and 10. Open out on the left side, this is Cole. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. So we've reached halftime here in a 4-point game. As we'll send you. And just like that, on we head to half number 2. The Jaguars in possession of the lead, and they will get the football as we are underway in the second half. This one fielded at the 5. And good starting field position. He'll get this one all the way up to about the 35-yard line. And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? you adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ball game.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
Now a toss left side into the hands of his tight end. Now the ball comes loose, and it's picked up by the Ravens. And this is going to be brought back for a Baltimore touchdown. So a big turn of events there. This defense makes the play. They return it for the score, and now they have the lead.
So much for ball security for the offense. Playing with a lead in the second half, they give the ball up, and all of a sudden they're behind.
Big-time fumble. The scoop and score, always an exciting play in football, and we witnessed it there, grabbing it off the ground and then rumbling it into the end zone for 6. So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. Out comes the Jacksonville offense as they get set to take over here. Their defense has done the job. Now it's the offense's turn as they've got it 1st and 10.
Check 41. Let's go, defense.
They'll come out throwing here on 1st down. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. So the contact came before the ball got there, and the flag is thrown.
Timing is everything, isn't it? And it's so hard to cover these great receivers. They have such great body control, and they can fake you out. In this case, as you described, got there before the ball got to the receiver. Penalty flag had to come out.
Another incompletion with that one. He's just 7 of 14 throwing the football, 50%. Typically not going to get it done, is it?
And let's just make it simple, and that's exactly why they trail.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. Fournette on the counter. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. 15 yards on the play, 1st down.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of the yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another 1st down with that run.
So a good run by Fournette. Now another 1st and 10.
Stop your whining. Check.
Now Foles off the play fake to Fournette. Lee's got it over the middle. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Another nice gain, 16 yards there and a 1st down again.
Well, coaches always talk about finding balance on offense. I don't think you get much more balance than this. Big-time run. Big-time pass.
A 1-2 combination. Looked pretty good.
How about that? Let's see if they can continue to take that kind of a punch, though.
And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. And they're not going to get to the line to run another play. So we will switch ends as the 3rd quarter has come to a close. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. They'll look to throw. He's got Swaim here as tight end outright. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on first down. Out to Cole on the right side. No gain that time on the completion, and it'll be 3rd down. Not good. They didn't move the football an inch, and precious time ticking off the clock. They'll get to the line here, but remember, it's also 3rd down. Back to throw. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. Chris Wormley in there to drop him as that clock continues to run.
Partner, you absolutely cannot take a sack in that situation. Now, it's also 4th down.
So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. This to tie things up in the final minute. And Lambeau will put this one through, and that will tie this game here in the final minute of play. So a big kick to get this back to even. Yet now the worry is, did you leave too much time on the clock? Because another field goal the other way, that does you in.
You're exactly right. You didn't get it to overtime yet. So now as a defense, you've got to think to yourself, you can't play prevent defense and just give up big chunks of yardage in front of you, but you also can't let anyone behind you. So you sit right on the line between the two, play the best defense you can, and not make it easy for them to move the ball downfield.
All level now at 10 apiece as the kick's away. This is taken at the 3. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. They'd like to avoid overtime here, so maybe they can work the sidelines, but then defensively, how do they adjust to that if they do work the sideline?
It's the old leverage game, and we usually talk about leverage at the line of scrimmage, right? Who's going to win with the low blocking and everything that goes along with that. But in this case, you're trying as a defender to leverage them towards the middle of the field, not let them get to the sidelines and try and tackle them in bounds in order to run the clock out.
Chess match here late. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts as they'll stop him with a little over 30 ticks to go in the football game. Jackson rolling to his right. And he'll avoid the tackle there with a slide. The Ravens going to use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 25 ticks remaining on the clock. Here's Jackson. Being chased out left. He'll get 8 on the scramble there. It'll be 2nd and a couple. And the clock will now stop as a timeout is called with 5 seconds left. Throwing now is Jackson. And that is incomplete. 2 seconds left on the clock.
Incomplete. Brings up 3rd down and 2.
A field goal from this spot likely out of the question. They've got to get closer here on 3rd down. Jackson to throw. wind up incomplete. Bold play call there. Now it's 4th down. And here in overtime, if the team that receives the ball scores a touchdown, it's over. If they don't, we can still have some more football.
That's exactly right. If they go down and kick a field goal, the other team gets a possession to either match it or score a touchdown to win the ball game. If both teams kick field goals, the next team to score wins. But if the receiving team throws a pick six or fumbles the ball and it gets picked up by the defense and they score, the game is over at that point.
So we're right back where we started, all even as the kick's away. This fielded at the 2. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. Now the Baltimore offense heading back out onto the field. They control their own destiny here. They have the football in overtime. Obviously, a touchdown would win it.
And I think teams around the league are still adjusting to the idea of going downfield, scoring a touchdown wins the game, because they were used to just going downfield and trying to get in field goal range to win a game. Still having to make that transition. Let's face it now, the ones who are doing it best know they need to go down, attack, put the ball in the end zone, and not leave it up to a field goal and give the other team a chance.
Yeah, as we said, they control their own destiny now.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level, because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. And that one blown up quickly, as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long. First throw in overtime now for Jackson. And the Jags get to him as down he goes. Calais Campbell able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon. Well, they went with the nickel. They throw in an extra defensive back. Coverage was very good.
Yeah, it was exactly as you would expect. A passing down. You bring in the nickel package. Just as you described, the coverage was excellent and allowed one of their linemen to end up getting to the quarterback.
A big kick there. We'll call it 56 yards on the punt. And the Jaguars go on offense, 1st down and 10. And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. Their defense did its job, got the stop. All they need is 3, and this is over.
Couldn't have done much else other than score themselves and end it. But they turned it back over to them, and now all they need is a field goal to win the game. An excellent job by the defense. Can the offense finish things off?
Now part 1 is done, now part 2. So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. 2nd and 3. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Cole. 4 yards the pickup, 1st down.
A gain of 4 yards. 1st down, Jaguars.
Now the offense will burn their 3rd and final timeout. That's their 2nd and last timeout here in the overtime session. We'll be back. On play action, they'll throw. And he's taken to the ground, but he was pulled down by the face mask. Here come the flags. And I believe this is going to be a first down. In overtime, you have to be smarter than that.
A personal foul just can't happen. Have to have poise.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 41. That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be 2nd down.
That's the end of another overtime, with the score still tied.
It's just me and you. It's just me and you. Here we go.
Throwing on 2nd and 14. Foles. That's into the hands of Westbrook over the middle. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for 3rd down.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes when they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way and it pops in the air. And sometimes you throw it so hard your receiver can't handle it, and he pops it up in the air for the defenders to grab as well.
But a moot point there as they were able to connect. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. A couple of nice plays for Jacksonville. Another first down there.
And Brandon, from our time in college football, where receivers weren't running the traditional NFL route tree, one thing they did learn, find open areas, find soft spots, and set up and catch the ball. And I think we just saw that there.
Yeah, we saw that indeed, picking up the first. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10.
Watch the screen. Watch the screen.
They'll look to throw. Oh, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Brandon Carr. And his guys are going to take over at the 21-yard line. So we will see yet another drive in this overtime.
For whatever reason, neither team able to finish this game off. I know that the first thought is, does anyone really want to win it? But I think that they both desperately want to win it, and sometimes you force things, and that leads to errors.
Well, it's out there for the taking. We'll see who can do it. And now here come the Ravens. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. Now here's a pass on 1st down that's knocked away and incomplete.
You got to remember, because now that we're in overtime, mistakes get magnified. So you got to walk that line between being aggressive and being careful, because that was a dangerous throw right there. You obviously could not have an interception in this spot.
And nearly was. Jaguar pressure and a Jaguar sack. Now another timeout called for by the offense. They'll be down to just 1 remaining as we step aside here in overtime. Now after that sack, it's 3rd and long for Jackson and the Ravens. Here's Jackson on 3rd and long. And it's going to be incomplete. He was able to catch it there on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. And it's going to bring up 4th down. You got a young quarterback, maybe that's just an example of a growing pain for him.
I think you're right about that, because when the game starts to move fast and it moves quickly on him, a lot of times they fall back on what they know best, their arm. He's slinging it on this one. Had a wide open target, but didn't have the proper footwork to increase his accuracy.
The Ravens take over first.
Here's Sam Cook now. And in double overtime, this needs to be a good one. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The Jags offense now gets set and heads back onto the field. Neither team scored yet. Now we go to sudden death. Next points win this game.
How about the tension right now? It is ratcheted up, isn't it? I mean, now whatever happens, points are scored. That's your ball game.
And he will not be able to get away as Foles is taken down. Marching in for the sack, Matthew Judon. And we say it all the time, have to be able to get rid of the ball sooner than that.
You have to help your offensive line out. They're going to protect you as best they can. And if you're getting 3 to 5 seconds to throw the ball, they're doing a really nice job. But when you hold it and give up a sack, you're really almost discrediting their work.
So after the sack, here's 2nd and 14. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. Throw left side complete. It's Cole. And way up past the 35 before he's taken down. A gain there of 21 yards.
First down, Jacksonville. That's the end of another overtime with the score still tied.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Here's Foles. Throw right side of the tight end to Shaughnessy. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. Another big gainer that time. This one goes for 19 yards. Offensively, back-to-back really nice plays. This defense, they've got 2 timeouts, maybe should burn one.
Yeah, when you get back-to-back explosive plays, to me, anything over 10 yards, I don't care if it's a run or a pass, I count it as an explosive play. That sets your defense back on its heels. A timeout here would be a good idea and try and get themselves settled because we're in OT. This is big time.
So in Raven territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line. So a nice job to break the 1 tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. The tackle made by the corner, Jimmy Smith.
Partner, I think from our experience together, we have learned that most offensive coordinators are going to tell you, if I'm going to run the football on 1st down, I've got to get at least 4 yards. They got 5 here. They've got to feel pretty good about that one.
And the play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down. Now another timeout called for by the offense. They'll be left with just 1 remaining here at OT. The Jaguars on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6. Now Foles. Open man is Westbrook, complete. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him. A gain of 26 on the 3rd down conversion.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. So now the onus will fall on the shoulders of Josh Lambo. And now the Ravens are going to take another timeout. They'll be down to just 1 remaining as we step aside here in overtime. So now the onus will fall on the shoulders of Josh Lambo. And he got it. The kick is good in overtime. He's able to split the uprights. And they will take the lead at 13-10. Now remember, this one is not over, but with the time running short here in this overtime, that could very well be the game winner.
Yeah, remember now, the other team does get a possession, but when the clock runs out, that's it. So that was a well-calculated drive to use up the majority of the clock and leave your opponent with little to no time left.
Well, we thought this game would be a good one. It did not disappoint into overtime, and it took the field goal to win it.
And we always pay lip service to how important it is to play defense. And usually we focus on the big